For any Xbox or PlayStation codes or cheap games on any platform, use the referral link in the description. It'll take you to g2a.com. Use the promo code CHES over there and you'll get yourself 3% cash back. Hey guys, welcome to another FIFA 17 player ratings reveal video. It's 30 to 21 today, got released earlier on this afternoon. I'll leave a link in the description to the article so you can check it out for yourself if you so wish. There will be on the channel page 2 videos from the past 24 hours as well of 40 to 31 and 50 to 41. If you missed those, do make sure you check them. One thing I want to point out as well, in the 50 to 41, David Silva was listed as a left mid, but he has since been switched to central attacking mid. So David Silva will be a cam on FIFA 17, not a left mid, as was originally thought. So now that we've cleared that up, let's jump into 30 to 21. Starting with Chelsea's own, my Chelsea's own, Eden Hazard. A drop in overall rating from 89 to 88. Again, I'll put on screen his FIFA 16 card so you can see visually the changes that have been made as well as we say them. Still 4-star, 4-star, still 90 pace, but dribbling, shooting are both down 1. Defending and physical are still the same, and his passing is down by 2. Obviously, Hazard is still an extremely talented player. That's why his rating is still as high as it is, but he didn't have the best of seasons last year. Obviously, it's not solely done on form. There is a player's individual quality still tends to have a big thing to say when it comes to the actual overall rating. But I can understand why he's been knocked down from 89 to 88, but I still think he deserves an 88. I might be slightly biased as a Chelsea fan. If you think I am, let me know politely in the comment section down below or on Twitter. There's a link in the description to my Twitter if you want to follow me over there. You'll also find a link in the description to the new No Identity merchandise store. If you want to pick yourself up a t-shirt or a hoodie or a snapback, then the site went live yesterday, so there's a link to that in the description down below as well if you want to check that out, which of course I would very much appreciate if you did. Moving on from Eden Hazard though, like I say, understandable that he is where he is with regards to overall rating. We have Giorgio Chiellini up next. You can see Petr Cech is going to be number 28 as well. Chiellini has had an upgrade, 87 to 88. Now, Bonucci had a massive upgrade, a huge upgrade in yesterday's video, the one that actually went up earlier on this afternoon. I think it was in the second batch of players that we looked at. And Chiellini hasn't had as big an upgrade, but has had an upgrade. However, pace is down 3, which is no real surprise. He's not as fast as he used to be, and he is 30. What's his date of birth? 14th of August. He'll be 32 now. As you can see, though, shooting is down 1, passing down 3, dribbling the same, defending the same, and physical up 1. Now, obviously, as has been mentioned in the comment section previously as well, individual stats, like, there are a number of individual attributes that could change, which is why, despite the fact that there have been some downgrades on the card stats, the overall could go up because, of course, A, EA are using a different formula to calculate overalls, and B, we can't see what all of the individual attributes are, and some of the individual attributes that are specifically tied to being a centre-back that aren't necessarily included in pace, shooting or passing might be why he's gone up to 88 from 87. With regards to whether he deserves it or not, I don't think anybody could argue that he doesn't, to be completely honest. Amazing for Italy, amazing for Juventus. One of the best centre-backs in Europe alongside Thiago Silva. Moving on to the player that we saw a moment ago, Petr Cech. I'm just going to keep checking to make sure that it's in frame. A couple of players in the earlier video weren't quite in frame. I didn't quite scroll enough because I've zoomed in on the page, you see. So that's why. But anyway, Petr Cech has had an upgrade from 86 to 88. Goalkeepers are getting a lot of love this year. Diving's the same. Reflexes is the same, positioning the same, speed up 1, kicking the same, but handling's taken a big jump from 84 to 90, which will play a big part in that +2 overall. I think Petr Cech's still one of the best goalkeepers in Europe. He's making a slightly larger amount of mistakes at Arsenal than he was at Chelsea 2 or 3 years ago, but that, I guess, comes perhaps with age. He's 34 now, so he's not as young and as flexible as he used to be, but you'd have thought his mind would still be able to keep up with what's going on, but perhaps his body isn't able to do exactly what he wants it to all of the time, which is why he's perhaps making a couple more mistakes than he used to, but still an extremely rock-solid keeper. I wouldn't say he deserves an 88, though. I wouldn't put Cech on the same level as Hugo Lloris. I'd say maybe Cech should have had an 87 at most, but I guess Arsenal fans would be delighted that he's 88. I don't necessarily think that he quite warrants 88, but he is still one of the best goalkeepers in Europe, so he deserves a very high rating. Toni Kroos is at 88 this year as well. He's up from 87, so an improvement for him. Pace, however, as we saw with Sergio Busquets, has taken a big knock. Sergio Busquets was down by 11, I think, and Kroos is also down by 11, from 56 to 45, so a big drop in pace, which is really going to affect how Toni Kroos plays. Dribbling is down 3, shooting down 1, defending, however, is up 3, so he will be slightly better in that holding role if you decide to play him there, and physical is up 1 and passing remains the same. Still got his 5-star weak foot, still got 3-star skill moves. I think it's the improvement in his defensive game that makes him a little bit better overall that has helped seen his card go from 87 to 88. Although the decrease in pace is really quite substantial, and that's going to affect how much he goes for on the market by quite a bit, I would have thought. Obviously, being an 88 rated card and playing for Real Madrid, he'll start off quite high, but we could see his price drop fairly significantly after the first month or so, as will probably be the case with players like Sergio Busquets as well, unfortunately. We mentioned David Silva's price might be quite low, but now that he's been moved from left mid to cam, his price will still probably be quite high, even though pace of 68 isn't as high as it could be. But 45 is really going to kill off Toni Kroos's longevity with regards to the price of him. But later in the year, could be a great, cheap, fantastic top-end player to be able to put into any squad that you're able to build, whether it be a La Liga side or a hybrid of some description. Gianluigi Buffon, though, is up next. He too has had a big upgrade, similarly to Bonucci, although Bonucci was 83. Buffon was 84 and is now 88. This year is the first year he's been rated at 88 or higher since FIFA 10. He was 90 in FIFA 10 and then was like 86, 5, 7, 6, 2 and 84 this year, or last year, sorry, for FIFA 16. This year, however, 88 again, thoroughly deserved. Still one of the top 3 goalkeepers in Europe. That has come up numerous times in the recording these videos so far. Neuer for me, then De Gea, then Buffon and Lloris tied for the third best goalkeeper in Europe, IMO, and then Courtois and Cech sit there in 4th and 5th, or tied for 4th, etc. But Buffon fully deserves the upgrades. Absolutely outstanding keeper still, even at the age of 38. 87 diving up 2, reflexes up 1, speed down 3, which is understandable considering the age of the player now. 88 handling, though, is up 9. 9 improvement on handling, which is massive, and that's going to really change the way Buffon plays this year. 90 positioning is also up 1, 68 kicking is down 3, but kicking isn't really that important for goalkeepers on FIFA, so distribution isn't as important as it might be in real life, etc. So that's not going to affect him too much. But I personally love a goalkeeper with high handling. So I always used to like playing with Diego Lopez back in the day, because when he was at Villarreal, because he had great handling. He might not have had the best diving and reflexes, but he was 6'5" and had really good handling. So Buffon and Cech and Lloris, who've all had big bumps in their handling, will really stand out for me personally, if I can afford them, of course, because presumably they'll be pretty damned expensive. Moving on from Gianluigi Buffon, though, we come to Marco Reus, the cover star, of course, this year. 86 rated last year, 88 rated this year. Understandable that they'd up his overall because he is the cover star, although I don't think Jordan Henderson got that much of an upgrade, did he, when he was the cover star last year? Although it's Reus, I think Reus is the cover star globally, isn't he, this year, rather than... or will there be another... I think, because obviously Messi's been the cover star and globally previously, and then there's been like a player from that region, like an English player or a French player, etc., on those covers in those given countries. But I think this year it's just because I think their contracts ran out with Reus EA. The cover just has one global cover star, which this year is Marco Reus. So 90 pace the same, 86 dribbling the same, defending up 1, not really going to matter too much on the left hand side of midfield. Physical down 1, passing down 1, but shot up 1. Reus is fantastic, absolutely superb player. Not last year, but the year before, I think he was struggling with injury, which is why he didn't get a big upgrade last year. I think people were expecting him from FIFA 14 to 15 to get a big bump. He went from 85 to 86 and then kind of held that last year, but Marco Reus is just Marco Reus. Everybody knows how good a player Marco Reus is, and I think he deserves the upgrade. I think he's going to be a superb player on FIFA 17, and whether you decide to buy him on career mode or whether you decide to start at Dortmund, he's going to be absolutely fantastic in the offline game mode. So I'm going to be looking into Reus maybe a little bit later on in the FIFA 17 year. But Andres Iniesta is the next one up for us, also 88 rated. And that is the same rating as last year, although pace is down 3, passing is the same, shooting's the same, dribbling the same, defending the same, physical down 3. So pace and physical going down primarily, presumably, because he's 32 now, but Andres Iniesta is just as good as he ever has been as far as I'm concerned. If it weren't for Ronaldo and Messi, I genuinely think Andres Iniesta would probably have been the best player in the world when he was at his peak a couple of years ago. He was absolutely incredible in like 2012, 2011, 2012, 2013. Hands down the best player in the world outside of Messi and Ronaldo at that time. Now, though, obviously, Luis Suarez has come to the fore. Neymar's getting better and better and better. Bale is just incredible. So Iniesta is still right up there, though, with the best in the world and fully deserves to keep hold of his 88 rating, in my opinion. A player that definitely also deserves the upgrade that he's gotten is Diego Godin. He's been rock solid for Atleti for a number of years now, and this is his highest ever rating. It was 85 last year, and then got a January upgrade to 86, and that has since been upped again to 88 now this year. Pace, however, is down 5, which will be a big factor for Diego Godin. A lot of people liked him because he was a little bit quicker than some others, although obviously players like Sergio Ramos are even faster. Shooting is down 1 to 49, passing up 1, dribbling up 1, defending the same, physical down 1. So again, physical and pace perhaps taking the knock because he's now turned 30, I'm not sure. But Diego Godin is Diego Godin. Just the same as Andres Iniesta is Andres Iniesta. Godin is just one of the best central defenders in Europe and has been for about 3 or 4 years. He's just established himself now as one of the best in not only La Liga but the entirety of the Champions League realm of players. So I think he deserves the upgrade. Maybe he should be 87. I'm not sure about 88. 88 is very high. It makes me wonder where Sergio Ramos is going to be. Is Ramos going to be an 89 rated player? I'm not sure. Sergio Ramos surely can't be a 90 rated player, and surely he won't be lower than 86, which is where the 50th player list started. So who knows? Sergio Ramos could be an absolute one of the most expensive players on the entirety of the game. Still no sign of Jerome Boateng either. So Philipp Lahm here is in 22nd, though, speaking of a Bundesliga player and a Bayern Munich player. For the first time in 3 years, though, he's going to be a right-back again. In FIFA 15 and 16, he was a CDM. Last year, an 87 rated CDM. And this year, he's going to be back at right-back, which is where he spent the majority of his career. Although he did play at left-back for the German national side before he retired. Pace, though, is down 7. Again, presumably because of his age, which will affect his value. Because obviously, if he was still at CDM, that wouldn't matter too much pace. But at right-back, people on Ultimate Team generally online like to have pacey wing-back. So 68 is going to affect him. But, I mean, just as Branislav Ivanovic is effective at right-back without much pace, and players like Pablo Zabaleta as well are also very good, despite not having much pace. Lahm is probably going to be just as good, if not better. 84 dribbling and 82 passing. Down 1 and down 2, respectively. Shot is still the same, but defending is down 1. Physical is down 2. So a number of decreases in his rating, but the position change means that he's up 1 to 88. So I don't know whether he deserves an 88 rating. I mean, he's a very, 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 very talented player, but I think perhaps staying at 87 despite the position change would have perhaps been more agreeable with at least my footballing opinion anyway. But KDB is going to be the final man that we look at, and interestingly with Kevin De Bruyne as well, as was the case with David Silva. You can see here it says at central attacking midfield. He will be changed, and it has been confirmed actually. Let me just refresh the page because perhaps it's already been updated. No, it still says right mid, but if I scroll, I showed you David Silva at the beginning, didn't I? We believe that KDB is going to be moved as well from right mid to cam, so it's going to be an 88 upgrade, and he will be at central attacking midfield, not at right mid as it's listed here. David Silva was previously listed left mid. He's now listed as cam, and we think Kevin De Bruyne is going to be the same. Pace is the same, shot the same, dribbling the same, passing the same. Well, actually, just glancing across, every rating is exactly the same on his card stats. Individual stats could be improved. Obviously, that will presumably be the case, considering he's had a bump from 86 to 88. But I think that's warranted. He was incredible for City last year. He made a name for himself when he went out on loan from Chelsea to Werder Bremen, helped them avoid relegation. Then went to Wolfsburg from Chelsea and was superb for them in the FIFA 15 year, or the season of FIFA 15. And last year at City, just enhanced his rating even more. Was wonderful player for them last year. One of the best players that City have at their disposal, and I think definitely deserves the 88 rating, and I'm rather disappointed that Chelsea let him go 3 or 4 years ago. But at the time, he wasn't anywhere close to the player he is now, so who was to tell, really? Who was to tell? Sometimes you let a player go and they don't improve. Sometimes you let a player go and they drastically improve, a la PK, a la Paul Pogba, etc., with regards to Manchester United. So Chelsea have made that mistake here, and Kevin De Bruyne is now one of the best midfielders in Europe, but Chelsea still have a very, very good side, so I'm not too fussed, and it's great to have a player of his ability still in the Premier League, or back in the Premier League. So that's going to round up 30 to 21. They came alive an hour earlier today. Yesterday they went live at 6. Today they went live at 5. So we'll keep an eye out for 20 to 11. Maybe they'll go an hour earlier. Maybe they'll come out at 4. But I'm going to get this video up as soon as I possibly can. Drop the video a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel too for more FIFA 17 content, of course. Let me know in the comment section and on Twitter all your opinions about these ratings. There's been good little discussion going on in the previous couple of episodes, polite discussion as well, no name calling, etc. People just genuinely having a debate as to why they think a player should have a rating and why they think a player shouldn't have a rating. So please do keep that up. I do like to have plenty of discussion in the comments, so long as it's polite discussion, and so far it has been. So GG internet, you're doing quite well for today. That's going to be all though for now. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow with a double upload of Newcastle United and 20 to 11 of the FIFA 17 player ratings. I'll see you then.